Righto, so this episode we're going to finally see this engine bay finished. So I'm about to start putting some paint on it, but I'm running out of time to get it onto the video, so it'll be right on the end. We'll also talk about seat belts because I've got them away to get done. So hang in there because we've done a lot of work and I want to show you the process I've gone through to make this happen to come out to be a really nice looking engine bay. Well, welcome back everyone. I haven't moved along that much further. I mean, I'm still in the engine bay, and you've got to love engine bays. I don't know whether you followed my Facebook stuff as well, but I put a post up the other day where I was doing my original van 48 years ago, doing pretty much the same job. So I've done a lot of these. What I've done is sealed up that the filler from the last episode, put that into epoxy again, so the epoxy seals off all of that bare metal and filler work. I've then put about 1.5 good coats of A712, which is a polyester filler, so it's a spray-on filler. And I've done the majority of the bay. I didn't do around this area because it's hard to rub and it was still in good condition. A lot of this has been pulled apart. It had a little bit of damage, and this area here it had a lot of repairs as well. What I'm doing now is I've just put trace coat on it and I'm using 180 dry with the vacuum. I'll get it all cut back nice and flat. Doesn't matter if I cut through this, and if it's a bit low I can add a bit more filler because I'm working on filler. Then we've got to put it back into epoxy again before we go to primer. So I've stayed away from these areas, masked off all the low stuff because I don't want extra filler down there, I don't need that. And as you can see here, I've just taped this up because I'm rubbing down here and I don't want to sort of double rub when I'm using the block down the side. I'm using the vacuum and we'll get it going and show you in a minute. But you can see there where I'm actually back through to the filler because I had a low in the middle and it probably wasn't a low, I had a high out here. So I'm just trying to cut it all flat. A lot of this is going to get covered up. On this side we've got the air conditioning, we've got the horns. This is more visible. With my engine number, I try and keep that at bare metal all the way through because the punching's not very deep and I don't want to lose that. So some cars I've done, I've actually cleared over the bare metal to make that so you can read it. Yeah, so that's pretty much what we're doing. I'll fire up the vacuum and just sand a bit. So I'm on 180 and I'm just using that new SEM paper. Finding it quite good. I mean, it's at a very good price point, and I think considering the pricing on it, it's a good option. So this is 180. I'll go back over it with some 240 and a little bit of maybe even 400 before I go back into epoxy and primer. I'll probably just stay at 240 actually. I might even read the data sheet to see what it says. So you can see how easy that's rubbing up, and I'm really getting nothing sticking on the paper. So this was sprayed, what's today, Monday? This was sprayed Friday afternoon. So I just got to work my way around with the block and then down through these areas. I'll do most of that by hand. I'm starting to run out of fingers a little bit, but the other little trick that I like for doing these is your normal filler applicator. If you put that in like that, it stiffens it up, makes it a little bit easier on your fingers, but it keeps it a lot flatter. And you'll see without the vacuum how the paper blocks up. So when you're using the vacuum, you virtually get no blockage at all in the paper. So I'll go through both sides like that. Then down the middle. And then these top edges, I normally just do those by hand. And a nice, if you've sort of cut this way, cut that way, and then round off your edge, and then when you go to 240 you can sort of round it up a bit more. So that's what I'm doing. I've just got a lot to do, so I'm going to put my head down and try and get a bit done. Righto, where I'm up to now, so I've sanded the poly, so poly as in a polyester spray filler, so it's basically a bog, a polyester filler that you can spray on, which is better than trying to use a lot of body filler where you're going to put it in and then drag it out, go through the process. I like the product in these sort of locations because it sets very, very hard. So you need to rub it within the first few days of putting it on, because once it sets, it's rock hard. Now that's from December 2024, and I've had that, I poured that into this cup, had some leftover, and as you can see that's very, very tight. And I've done that deliberately just to show that it doesn't shrink and crack. If that was primer, this would have shrunk and it'd be all full of cracks. So that's the reason I like it. It's a porous product, which means you can't, rub it with water, and it needs to be resealed with your epoxy. So this will all go into epoxy now. So that's what I'm working towards. I've been using 180 paper on it at the moment. What I'm about to do, and I used a trace coat, so I'm trying to rub it all out so there's none of this trace left. So anywhere that there's a bit of trace means it's a bit low. In these main areas I'm looking to have no visible trace coat. What I'm about to do now, and you would have seen the trace before was quite heavy, and I think that was just that particular cam was spraying a bit blotchy. So I just grabbed a new one. So this is the SEM guide coat. You'll find that on our website. I can now spray that on. Now this is like a powdery type product, it's not actually a paint. So I can spray that on, and then pretty much straight away, except for that bit, it dries out. And then I'm going to go with some 240 soft, and what I'm trying to do now is just minimise the scratch. So you can see the scratches there. That's your 180 scratches. So I'm just going to sand those out, and that'll give me a nice smooth surface to put my primer on. So 240 is still plenty of bite for the primer. So the next stage will be another coat of epoxy to seal it off the fillers, and then I'll wet some primer and get all of that in primer, and then that'll be ready for colour. So it's a bit of a drawn out process, but once it's done it's going to look mint. I talk all the time about getting stuff organised and getting it away to get done so you're not waiting for it at the end when you finish painting, all that sort of stuff. So these are the seat belts that come out of the van. So these obviously getting pretty tied, the webbing and all's pretty average. So normally I send my stuff over to Seatbelt Solutions over in Perth. So I just had a chat to them on the phone over there today, and I've done all this work previously, so I'm going to send them off to them now. But things like these are the hard bits to get, so the plastics tend to go. So I've had bits and pieces here previously, so like these ones here, the chrome, these ones are a bit rusty, so I've found some decent ones. So the sedan ones are the same as the van. Seatbelt Solutions can re-chrome your parts for you if you want, so you can send the whole belt over, they'll redo them. In my case, because I've had parts here, I've gone looking for the parts to be able to make up a decent set. So I'm going to get them off to them. They're talking a couple of weeks to do those, so there'll be another one when they come back. I can put them on the shelf and we'll have seatbelts ready to go. I forgot to mention there's also the stalk that goes on the car that goes down, bolts onto the seat mount. they're getting really difficult to find. There's a couple of really grubby looking ones there now that really aren't much good for anything. I've got two good ones somewhere that I've already done the paint work on, but I was just saying to Louise that over the years I've been collecting all these parts for all the different cars, and you end up with all the broken bits and pieces, and I'm a bit of a hoarder, so I've got all the bits there because at some point in time someone may be able to do something with those. But as we get this car finished, I probably need to go to a few swap meets and get rid of some of this. Right, getting close now, so I'm running out of fingers. All my fingertips are gone. I've been wearing gloves the last couple of days because they're getting pretty tender. So I'm going to back mask everything now because the plan is to get all of the cross members, these front caster bar pickups, everything that's going to be colour, I've now got to get in epoxy and then the primer. So I'm going to paint these in colour, pick up the gearbox, back mask through here and up and across. So this will be all black, and then this will be body colour through. And then the same up through here where I've been working to here will be body colour, and then the rest it will be Stone Garden black. So just about got it all rubbed. It's a little bit frustrating doing these sort of areas because I decided I'd do the dash as well because it's sort of all part of the same deal. And of course you find it's had a repair at some stage. So now I've just skimmed a little bit of filler in there. I'll give that a block. So I want to prime from here all the way down, and then when I do my colour I can come up to the screen because this will then be satin black. So just trying to get a balance. I'm just remasking everything nice and fresh, and as I pointed out on one of the previous episodes, the engine number I've actually cleaned all that up, Scotch-Brite'd it and used some thinners and stuff. So I've masked that off now, and I'll leave that bare metal, and that'll stay bare metal until I put the clear on when we do colour. And I'm doing that because the actual imprints aren't very deep, and I don't know, it's factory, but they're not very deep, and if I load a whole heap of product on it, I'm sure I'll lose them. So that's where I'm up to. So it's Wednesday Arvo, got it all cleaned up now, get it in the booth, get it sprayed, and you'll see it the same day as in tomorrow, Thursday. I've been under the pump a bit because I really wanted to get this into primer for this episode. So it's Thursday and it's like 10:30 in the morning, so we're going to get this final bit of filming done, get some product on it, and then we can wind it up. So where I'm up to now, I've sanded all this down with 240, masked it back up again, and a few things I thought of that I would show you. I've probably already put too much product in these because the bolts fit in and slide. So I've just masked them up, just crunched up some paper to go in there so I don't get too much build and have difficulty getting my bolts back in. Then any threads from the bonnet hinges and those sorts of things, tape those up so I don't have to recut the threads. It's just a bit of a time saver. So all of this now that is not masked is going to be put back into epoxy. That'll seal off all of the fillers and spray fillers. And then I'll put my primer on, and I'll just use normal primer surfacer, and I'll put like 3 nice coats on. That'll enable me to rub it out before we do the paint. Now, normally I don't have the inside all finished at this stage, but because this car's always been not really running to the way I would normally do things, I've sort of got to mask more than I would normally do. So I've back masked everything so I don't get too much product underneath, and then I've done the dash because I want to get that sealed up. I fixed that bit of a dent we talked about. I knocked it up a bit but put a bit of filler in it. So now I can prime all the way through, and that can sit and wait while I do the back of the doors. So the next bit you see, we'll have some epoxy on it, then some primer. Righto, so that's 2 coats of epoxy. Just got to wait 10 minutes between coats because it's a bit chilly today. I've got the booth at about 22 degrees, which is just enough. So that'll take a little bit longer to go off, and then I've got to wait 30 minutes before I go with the primer on, pretty sure. I'll double check that, but I reckon that's the case. But I'm really happy with all the lines. Looks so good. Right, so that's a wrap. So I've got one coat of primer on it. So this is primer surfacer. It's quite thin. I'm going to put 3 coats on it. But I need to get this video done so Louise can make the video and get it out for today. So really happy with the way all the lines have come out. All we've got to do now is do the back of the doors, do the same process again, and then we can start rubbing to get ready for some paint. So don't forget, subscribe, click the like button, ask any questions. If you do your paintwork a different way, make the comments. I'll come back with why I do it this way. But primarily I'm following the PPG data sheets and the results speak for themselves.